ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. For the final time, we are going to be breaking down the next game in hand. Our final game of the evening. I have Vendetta and D-Man standing by to talk about. It's going to be Cobblestone between SK and Mousesports. We did just witness Mousesports steadily dismantle the Danish side SK, and now they have an opportunity on Cobble. Actually, a lot of our pre-game for the first game, we were actually talking a lot about how exciting Cobble could be. And D-Man, you were kind of an advocate for saying Cobble could be a good shot for SK.
This is SK's best map, effectively. This is the one they have the chance on.
What's going on with Danes and Cobble?
This is their best map, yeah, there's no doubt about it. And actually, if you look at Mouse, outside of the Luminosity result, where they should have won but lost 16-14 in that crazy game at Katowice, their results over the last couple of months are not very good on Cobblestone. They don't have a good record, whereas SK, obviously their home map, they're going to be looking to try and take advantage. Of course, obviously both teams had those few little adjustments, but Mouse with Nico at the helm now in charge, I don't know. I mean, how much do you look back? How much do you dwell as an ex-player from many moons ago? Yeah. How much do you dwell on like previous games, like that Luminosity game? Because that's got to be playing in your minds. As soon as you go into Cobble, it's like, oh yeah, we did so well, but then Tempo Storm. It was Tempo, not Luminosity.
Brazilians, easy to get mixed up.
Yeah, it was when Henny went crazy, wasn't it? And Showtime.
It was Luminosity for
was
Mouse.
No, Luminosity? Tempo Cobble.
We got a toss apparently.
Oh. We got it. Okay, well.
That was quick and easy.
Hey, Halvor, we haven't heard from you. You have 10 seconds to tell us your thoughts on Cobble. Let's see what you got.
Mousesports are going to show a better side of them than what they've done in the previous months on Cobble. SK is still a pretty good Cobble team, but I think they're just in too big of a slump now, so I think this is going to go to Mousesports.
Okay, so still a lot of belief.
We still said
Mousesports.
2-0. So
Yeah, we did. All right, it's time to introduce your casting pair for this one. A casting pair often seen running in slow motion on the beach in tight red leotards. It is going to be Pansy and Semler, otherwise known as Pamela.
That actually wasn't bad, even though you had to look down to your notes to remember it. Not bad, Alex.
Point.
Yeah.
Incredibly, reference game incredibly on point at this point. Alex, that was very nice.
Well done. We're proud of you.
I do like to think of myself as a Pam.
Imagine you like, the hair and everything. Wow.
Chest out,
I'm
running to
baffled.
the rescue of CS fans everywhere.
What a thought. All right, Cobble coming up next. Now, a lot of faith. Well, I say faith.
Oh, yes.
A couple of points put into the SK corner here because they've had some good results, and this is the map they actually have picked up some big wins on, beating tier 1 teams through, one being Really Rush. Stop looking at ass. What's going on the booty like
What is going on?
You're just checking out the booty on this map. Nice Rush. Real classy guy. But no, this is the map where SK managed to take down Na'Vi. It's the one where they also made some very bad choices against Envy, though. They've had some really weird games on this end, SK, but they're not bad at it. They have some really nice play styles on this. So hoping to see what made them great before, which was, the control on B, Asilian with some wonderful timing plays, Pimp constantly pressuring down long. I want to see every factor for SK working, because if it doesn't, Mousesports are going to stomp like they just did. And now I want to see if Nico goes for the Deagle, because he didn't do it in the last map. He didn't do it at all. So maybe he's actually shying away from it a bit now, because he's going full utility here. So nade, smoke, and flash. Speedy going on the molly there, and the rest going for armor. So again, nice little buy up here, but look at the other side of things. Only 2 players with armor, CZ with Molly, Pimp with the 5-7 there, and a couple of pieces there, the defuse kit on Magic. So again, a bit of a 4-play-ish stack over towards B quite early on for SK. Pimp being pulled across, and now there you go. Asilian's seen it all. He's seen everything that Mousesports have. He may not know that yet, but all players are about to start walking over towards his B side. The molly's going to be used to clear out that chicken coop, and there we go. Mousesports have made it through towards the side itself, and now they need to start hitting those shots, but SK cheating that early player over here has paid off. Pimp did find Dennis, but now here comes the resurgence from Mousesports as Nico steps up to the plate, and now left in the 2v1.
Freeze has got a nice little nade. Gonna go sailing just a bit too far. This all comes down to the man. Exactly. There's the peak. There's the info. Now they know where he's playing from. They should be ready for him. And Nico's just going to get gunned down in a hail of bullets. And there's so much time now for Freeze to work with. He's got Kevlar as well, so he can kind of step out there and look for these fights. And with the smoke up there, oh, this is nightmarish. He's got the kit. It's just shots in, and he's going to be able to get this done.
Oh, that's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Spitty didn't quite have the lineup on that plant at all. Picking up the kit off of Magic, picking up that smoke. Freeze had it all set up. And as said, keeping Pimp a little closer, he kind of plays a little towards the drop side, I guess, early on. As you get, the other player pushing out, getting the information on towards A. So this is actually a nice start for SK. First one on the board, quite close. Now, Mouse, what would you go for? We're going to go for the Nico Classic Deagle. Almost like combined his name into one with the Deagle there, but still. A couple of Deagles, bit of P250 action, but that's about your lot.
That is exactly. I mean, pretty goddamn heavy on the SMGs, to be frank.
But look how close they're holding everywhere, pretty much. Like, everyone's pretty much just holding those choke points.
I'm not a huge fan of this. I would like to see more rifles picked up, to be frank, just because, if Mousesports got the plant, likelihood of them either going for some crazy force buy where they're going to have, Kevlar helmets, Tech 9s, nades, they could come running at you with that, or they're just going to buy in the next round. So are you going to be able to get, between 4 players, are you going to get enough kills to make it worthwhile to go for all these SMGs? And
now Chris taking down Freeze is going to remove the threat that those SMGs could have thrived in. The fact is that now they have to kind of separate up, disperse from that B stack. You've got Modi coming over, Pimp coming over, Resilient even playing further out of drop. And this is a good shot now for Mousesports. They can go drop and actually get a good control in towards B.
And now Miggy's boy, he's picking up all the kills. So these SMGs, just like nothing. Worthless. Quad kill for Magic. Asilian is going to try and get in here, and it's actually just the anti-eco ace for Magic. So all of these SMGs picked up, and not a single kill got by SMGs, all for the FAMAS.
And now here's the issue.
Like herp derp.
If they upgrade, it's going to be costly. And they know they're going to be coming up against probable rifles. There was a plan in the first round. They didn't invest too heavily into the second. So now they understand that, okay, what do we go for here? It's shoddy as well. You got Pimp. I'm not sure what Pimp's going to get. He does get the rifle in the end. So 3 to 4 rifles come out. Modi on the prior one, and the SMG still with Asilian. But this is a costly investment for SK that maybe they didn't need to necessarily go for. And a different start out for Mouse.
It's just more even now, basically, between these two teams. Now at Mousesports, they don't have huge utility, considering this is their first buy round. So, I mean, they're kind of iffy on the nades, but so are SK. So this actually gives Mouse a decent way of getting back into this. So all they have to do is, make sure that they keep the pressure up on SK Gaming. All of these nades are going to go pretty quickly in the end, and then Mousesports get to kind of push wherever they want on the map. It's 4 players holding on B site right now for SK Gaming. They're definitely expecting some kind of plateau play to come out here from Mousesports, but Mousesports don't want to have anything to do with that. They've set up towards a long and an underpass.
SK unable to get any aggressive information, I call it, but even just like peeks towards, I guess, T territory at this point. But actually, the rotate's coming out, and it's like back and forth we go. So as Modi comes over towards A and Asilian falls back a little, the rest of Mousesports are coming out because Nico's got that step towards plat. Magic, though, that's his domain. Playing up on this quad, kind of, I guess, cube, whatever you like to call it, that area was what completely dismantled Na'Vi for so long until they did that counter boost above the smoke. So now let's see if Freeze can get into this one now. Good flash comes out. He's completely blind, has to back away. Magic needs to back off the box, but still, there's Asilian keeping it to check. And Mousesports going to struggle to get out here. Tag for Freeze. And Dennis going to get the kill towards Asilian. This is much better from Mouse, starting to work their way back in, but the bomb's been dropped. That's Pimp with the nade coming in. And now left in the 3v2. SK have their foot firmly in the door here on this B site.
Yeah, they're never going to let it go. Super sick hold coming in. I mean, especially Freeze just playing the angle, staying alive, constantly being this threat that Mousesports have to worry about, that op that's playing from the side itself. And then just, being able to shut down Nico so quickly early on. Magic Boy as well, man. 9-1-1. Obviously, he got that ace, but still, he's just dropping frags right now, making sure that life isn't very easy here for Mousesports. But again, it's like Mousesports just really, they so heavily rely on Nico to get something done sometimes. Like, they really do count on him to get that opening kill that will give them some room to maneuver with.
We gonna have a drop rush? Yeah, we are. All right, Spitty, get that taste. Nope.
Denied.
Oh, that's a nice little shot, though, from Chris Jane, jumping up and down. It shouldn't get much further. They have actually gotten out towards kind of, I guess, by door, but the crossfire comes in, the pinch comes out. They didn't really push any of the extremities, so they don't get that kind of value back off this. But Nico has recovered a rifle, and Nico is a danger right now. And you can see why. He still takes Magic down to 9 HP with 0 armor on him, but it will be Magic to close out. So again, a step forward for Magic, which I don't think he needs any more help on.
Yeah, both of those guys, their aim is on point.
Ooh. Dennis is a good spawn.
What is this? Dennis?
You gonna do something fun, Dennis? Nope.
Oh, you're expecting him to go quick drop or
Yeah,
something?
I want the fun plays to come out. I want quick drop plays.
Ah, I see. So flash drop. The problem is, SK, So they don't go straight up anti-rush nades, but they do get that smoke and HE combo in.
And this is different from SK as well. They've got 3 players over by A. Maybe they're thinking, okay, well, with the AWP in play, maybe Chris J would like to do that. Maybe he looks to get the picks here. Let's kind of adapt around. But actually, Chris J's straight over with Nico and Dennis. And him free some mod. You got to be careful. They can't overcommit here or get caught out because that'll give Mousesports so much of an advantage.
And we should be following Nico because basically he's going to be the main man here. Him and Chris J. Chris has got that plan. Yeah, exactly. Chris is going to be leading with the op. Nico will try and set it up for him. Incendiary perfectly timed to go down at a minute mark. And now this is where we're starting to get to the point where SK, they need to start getting some info. They need to start figuring out where this push is going to come from after all. There's the flash, completely ineffective. Does that give it away, though? Vasilian is holding close, and now it's all down to Magic, and Magic is holding way back there. He's in chicken coop. Flash is in, but it's not going to be quick enough for Chris J to react to. And now, I mean, they're starting to run out of time here. 40 seconds left, and it's go time.
It has to be go time pretty fast. And look, that Molly's going to force Magic out, but Vasilian holding drop room, and actually Magic just gets pushed out and still hits the shots. But it's Nico's time. He's got 2. 30 seconds, bomb will be planted here. But look at the HP on Mouse. It is so dire. 29 on Spitty. 14 on Nico. They have no utility, but look at this cheeky play. That's nice from Nico. Going to try and make the most of what he has, and Pimp's going to be walking into a bit of a trap here, and actually falls for it. Now Modi, last man standing. They are low. He could certainly go for this. Oh, that position behind the tree. Nico playing hide and seek. Does lose out in the end towards Modi, and now Modi going in on this. He knows exactly where Spitty is, but he's got to be quick about this one, and Spitty should be just buying time. 3 bullets left, not enough to do it, and Spitty, good work from him individually, but time was certainly getting very close then.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and even saves the AWP for Chris J. That's
Nice
a
work,
huge
Spitty.
play. So yeah, Spitty with both of the meaningful kills. Yeah, I mean, they were basically, banking on Nico not having, or Nico's position not getting given up there. The fact that he was boosted up. The man on plateau died so quickly, they were hoping that he wasn't spotted, but Modi knew. So that got just a little bit too close for comfort. But we need more plays like that from Mousesports, just like the no fear, get out onto the site and then try and work it out from there. Seems like SK, when it comes down to it, they're still struggling a little bit to coordinate retakes.
100%. If Magic doesn't do all that initial damage, it does become difficult. And actually reading it a little wrong here, I guess. As Molly backs away at the worst time possible, Vasilian's going to be run over, instantly taken down by Nico. And again, Magic has to be the last man on this site to deal with these players. But Chris J going to split from one side. You've got the 2 on the other, and it's Nico coming up again with the goods here. Magic not coming up with enough to take him on, but down to this 3v3. SK, these retakes have not been crisp.
Both of these guys, though, their aim is so on point because, like, last time it was Magic getting brought down to 9 HP. This time it's Nico who barely survives. 2 big kills coming in for Nico, but he's fine. He was so low on HP that he's like, okay, just charge in, get the kills, wreck the defense. And now both of my teammates who remain on this site who have now established a crossfire, they're at full HP, so they can take a fight with Pimp. They can just make life for Pimp very difficult here.
He buys the time to allow them to set up like that. He gets the information on the last. Hell, he took down 2 on the way, which is incredible. He got 4 this round. And as you said, these 2 players, Magic and Nico, going backward and forth here. It was whoever seems to come up with the big plays ends up picking up the round. It's insane between these 2. But Mousesports as a whole starting to operate better than SK, I guess, as a whole at this point, as they're starting to string these rounds together. Of course, still 4-1. At this point, it's going to be 4-2 very soon. And the guns will be safe. All very safe and secure. Chris J keeps that AWP once again. Dennis with the rifle. And SK's money is not great here.
No, this is where, I mean, they went for the force last round. This is where it starts to get a little awkward for him. Because getting hard reset, it's just not what you want to allow. I mean, sure, they got the strong start on CT side. This is a T-sided map, so Mousesports, we should expect them to come out ahead. But SK, they had a golden opportunity to really just, get that stranglehold on Mousesports and never let go. The only problem is that Mousesports, Nico, surprisingly enough, he has fingers of iron, of steel, right? And he worked them in there, pried SK Gaming's fingers apart, maybe broke a couple of them in the process. And now, well, SK, they're in rehab. Just hoping that they can get out quick enough to have an impact in this half.
It's very visual.
There you go.
And it's probably the way SK are feeling at the moment. But as said, SK going to put most of their eggs in that B basket. Nico looking to try and crack a few, but Pimp has one on Chris J, so that's a good little AWP duel going his way, but limited chance to recover this as Freak's going to try and step closer, but Nico, the raid boss himself, on the other side, they're going to see that flash come out. It will dominate the angle towards the right, expect one on the left, but this could be a nice bit of timing for SK if they can work it out, but no, Nico takes the fight towards Freak, defending that AWP with his life, and now trying to get out of here. He's going to take that and run, I can imagine, at this point, or just be Nico and take the fight.
Oh, he's super worried right now.
No.
It's like bait. It's right there. Cillian doesn't know. Super scary. All of it. What is going on? Just back out. How does he get out of here?
I don't understand, Semler, but while that insane duel goes on, Mousesports have turned their attention over towards A, and the endless duel is still happening. The Cillian's chasing down Nico. He's around the back. We've still got the kill going towards the side. The bomb's now loose. They've got 20 seconds. And Pimp, he's hit Dennis. He's got the follow-up as well. Speedy gets crushed. And now it's Nico, the man who just about escaped. The Cillian a mile away on his tracks. With 15 seconds, Nico has to go God mode here and pick up these kills, which is almost impossible. He almost hits a no-scope, goes back in for the wild shot, but Modi has none of it, and a massive performance then from Pimp.
Yeah, and Nico's just got to be going like, what do I have to do right now, guys, for you to really step up and be able to take over an ecoing site when you have everything going your way? Pimp has rotated over by the time that I'm, messing around with the Cillian, because they figured out that, oh, it's Nico alone. The other guys must be on the other side. But still, he needs to be able to count on Nex, on Dennis, on these guys to step up and actually get the job done. Because now that gives SK Gaming a perfect chance here. That's it. It's just a quick, a little weekend visit, right? Now they're back out in the real world.
Yeah, and the real world ain't so pretty at the moment. Modi and Magic's going to make the most of those couple of kills coming through, and Freeze on the side itself just dancing around. It'll be Modi with the quicker step to find Nico, and again, as you said, it was a holiday, it was a vacation of hope almost then for a second, and it's going to be a horrible realization for Nico going, I can't be everywhere at once. I do everything I can here. I basically have 3 players pushing me. How the hell have you not taken A at the moment? 6-2.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
a free double AWP, basically. One invested on Freeze and the other collected.
Yeah, the other one is just, Pimp he's not like obviously not a top tier. There was a time, a long time ago, when Pimp wanted to go full-time op. It's been a long time since he was hitting those kinds of shots, hitting that kind of level. Never really got back up to it. It's scary there for Magic, though. Dennis at least throws himself in there, no fear. And once again, Mousesports, they're actually applying some decent pressure here to SK.
Really good pressure, actually, and the only benefit being Cillian's in a cheeky little spot towards Shaking Coop, and there's the crossfire kind of like grinding down Mousesports. They did get a step out. That early dink on Magic was absolutely sick, but couldn't play much more to that. They did take down Freeze and Magic, but those double AWPs stay into their hands. Modi can drop that out. And again,
I had no idea that Cillian was a T-Rex.
little T-Rex arms.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to punch those plants. He's really trying hard.
Can't reach.
You could tell he was like, rah! But just short arms, couldn't get to it.
Adorable. No. 2 rounds away from Mousesports. On arguably a very, not very, but a T-sided map. And oh, here we go. Freeze getting confident. That's what happens when you try and do that to Nico. And Nico just smashes down SK and drop. Magic has to be where the kind of little bit of fun stops there. But no, Nex is actually going to support this time and actually play a role in this round after the back of Nico picking up 2.
It's not every day that we get to say that. Next, getting the key kill that makes all the difference. If he dies on plateau with that bomb, it's much more difficult for Mousesports to come out ahead in the situation. But the fact that he gets that key frag, that made all the difference. And Mousesports now, they get to sit pretty. It's going to be Pimp running away because still, the economy is just like all over the place for both of these teams. There's enough for a force buy if Pimp holds onto this gun. It would make a big difference, actually, considering 2 of them are kind of like, $8,000. They should be able to spread the wealth enough for everybody to get fully equipped. But yeah, Mousesports, same thing. They don't want to hunt too aggressively because they're equally, kind of in a wonky spot as far as the money's concerned.
I'm wondering if they actually put someone a little bit closer towards drop in the next couple of rounds, SK. They've been losing a couple of times, but nice work from Pimp finding Nex.
They had 2 there, right? It just turned into
Nico mode.
Yeah, well, not even Nico mode. It was just like aggression mode for Mousesports. Like SK, if you're going for that kind of boost, you're expecting them to kind of like hang back a little bit, and then they're going to be watching for you, or they're waiting for the nades, and then boom, surprise, AWP in your face. I think that's what SK were expecting. They just weren't expecting Mousesports to be like YOLO rush.
Yeah, but you make a good point though. Modi's never been early nading that, so Mouse have been always able to step up pretty quickly towards that point. So at no point would they be slow enough to allow that AWP to get to play. So as I said, again, Modi doesn't take that initial fight. A couple of the other players run through by drop and maybe put up a nade or two, but it's not quick enough to maybe put Mouse off that thought. But anyway, back to those thoughts later on, possibly, as right now we're going to see a bit of a difference from Mousesports. They're looking towards A. This could be a whole new world for them.
Well, the last time they went here, Pimp Shrek'd them, so whatever you do, forget about that. That round never happened. Now it's your turn to put on the rings. Your turn to take the fight to Pimp. And what Pimp? He's actually going to play it very safely. He falls all the way back. He's trying to change up that angle. Yeah, just waiting to see if he can't find somebody coming out from A long. Unfortunately for him, everybody's kind of playing from underpass right now. And this is everybody on Mousesports as well. There's no lurking Nico over on the B side. Nico is here with the main body, so they need to push together.
And there we go, smokes go up. So now Modi's quick on the rotate, Pimp is still in position, but actually no one going to be holding that close push. So Mouse can step to the site, and as you said, very few players playing through long, but actually no one really crossing through from Mouse. They want to take the fights early in this, try and get the step in towards the site, and now they do, but there's still no cross towards the site itself. Pimp, I mean, watching this, they still have one smoke and a couple of flashes here or there for Mouse. Taking the fights together, though, it's allowed Asilian a chance to find Dennis solo. Goes back in, spots out another on the truck. Oh my word, they're allowing Asilian to run Rampage here. It's back to a 4v3. And it's SK in control. Christian, you better step up with something in this, because at the moment you've let a round go that you probably could have had in the bag.
It's just the smoke. They want to put that smoke down again. One missed smoke has actually really significantly screwed up Mousesports, because that smoke is supposed to go down and block off balcony. Instead, it landed underneath it, and so that allowed for Asilian to actually have a way to maneuver. He was like a Protoss player in StarCraft 2. He was just laying force fields down all over the place, controlling the map for himself. Just kept peeking out from behind the force fields, and there wasn't anything these Marines could do. So, horrible situation, and now Spitty hits the shot onto Pimp. Nex is going to take out Magic, and it's just going to be on freeze, and he's got to back off to save this AWP. Chris realizes it too. He's like, hey, tries for the wallbang, but it's not going to work.
Well recovered in the end by Mouse. You said, though, highlighting point being a missed smoke can cost you what should be a very clean, relatively carefree round to a small amount. It gets a little bit scary at times, but they keep it in check. And there we have it. Mousesports get another one on the board. 7-4, starting to look a little more robust, and SK's money looking a little worse for wear, but still enough to get a buy-in, and actually still a double orb coming through as well, so more than able. But Magic going to have to suffer at the hands of that.
Yeah, Magic Boy, I mean, the thing is, he's still sitting pretty, 15 kills, 5 assists. I mean, he's having an impact in these rounds. And he showed, at least in the anti-eco, that he's capable of getting some spray downs with that FAMAS. So let's see what he can do here, because right now, Mousesports are just waiting. They're waiting to feel out exactly where SK decided to go with this. If they went for a quasi-buy, if they're ecoing, or did they go for the force? That's the kind of information that Mousesports are waiting on right now. And it seems like perhaps because they've actually had some success on the A side so far, they want to go back there initially, at least to begin with, because they're gathered up outside of Underpass and they're looking to see if they can't push in here pretty soon.
Yeah, so if Chris J spotted out anything, or a piece of Pimp, I guess, they could pounce on that so quickly. But actually this time, Modi's going to come over towards A very quickly. A difference being Nico's not initially with Mousesports at this time. He's still over by the B site, so playing a more classic role, I guess, for him. But Pimp, again, playing not the safest game, but safe enough that he probably could get the information back from that. And there's the boost again coming out, though. This will just allow him to see over the site. And actually quite lucky for Pimp that he backed away from that angle, because Chris J could have seen that.
Christian with that punish. Instead, it's Nico who's caught. That's a lurk down, and now do they go off this information?
They've got to be
say,
thinking, where's anyone else?
We just killed Nico. We just killed Nico. And
Come
you
on,
do
Asilian.
have Magic who's kind of cheating. Closer. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps towards connector.
Now?
And now the rotate. Now Asilian starts to rotate over. Now that the nades are here, he's going to go for that peek. Goes for the spray. Does big damage to Nex, and that's all he needs to do at this point.
20 seconds though. Mousesports need to be quick on this, and SK know it. They can't go anywhere else. They could maybe sneak through that smoke, but a risk they're not willing to take, as Modi in almost that one and done spot plays it well, but will get challenged down by Chris J. Left in this 3v3. Freeze is still on the way over, and Chris J going wild. It's still 8 seconds though. Bomb yet to be planted. This could still be a problem. Bomb is going to go down in time, and now it's retake for SK.
Just not sure if they spotted the fact that the man is behind the wood there. Flash is going down, though. Freeze puts a shot out there, so they should have an idea of where he's playing from, at least. Both players coming in from balcony. 1 M4 and 1 AWP, so not totally ideal here, especially now that Asilian's been picked off. So it's all on Freeze now for this retake, and he even commits to it. Wow. He isn't holding back. He's going to get out there. He knows where the second man is playing from, gets lagged in the process, and now this is pretty much it. got to be done and dusted. What can he really hope for at this point? To stay alive long enough for them to go up with the bomb? That would have been a while off.
Yeah. I guess the benefit being he did get to see up where, well, I understand where both players were. You caught that glimpse of Chris really quick when he played through, but hitting, you know, just finding a 1v2, or like even a 1v1 in that 1v2 situation is almost impossible. But Chris at this point, these shots he was hitting is huge. It does actually take down Nex in the process, but doesn't really matter in the end. He kept it well and truly, you know, in check, and SK maybe reading into this sudden liking towards A and just trying to make a stack somewhere.
Yeah, they're trying to get that punish, but again, I do like it. Mousesports going back to the basics. Pretty far back on all points right now, not committing anywhere, seeing if they can bait out a response. And SK Gaming, instead, they're just laying, yeah, they're lying in wait. They've set the ambush. Fancy. And now it all comes down to them not falling asleep on it. You know,
And a Cillian with a unique pistol. I don't know anyone who undoes the silencer.
who actually undoes the silencer, yeah.
Apart from Alex when he throws decoys because he thinks it throws people off. Because if you throw a decoy without the silencer on, it makes a different sound.
Interesting.
He's like that next level, like next gen play.
But that's like when you drop your AK and throw a decoy, just so it's like, oh yeah, where you going, guys? I only have a Glock.
That's it.
And then you're like, surprise! Yeah.
And really worked out by Mouse this round, actually. Spiddy and Nico kind of working through B together. Finding out, no one here, guys. Over you come. There you go. Chris J comes over. Next is there. Dennis still holding the back on a very far off point. So if anyone else, if he does drop, Next can then be aware of it, position himself well. Spots out 2. There will be actually 4 coming through. So Dennis needs to be very careful here. Yeah, he needs to pull back a little bit.
That's all about not overstaying your welcome. Make sure that you always have a place to back off so that you're not getting overwhelmed by those pistols. They're so quick. There we go. First shot in. Now he's headshot. Now he needs to back off and save. Good. Next is there to hold the line. This is actually a very nice play coming in here from Mousesports. SK are just hoping that they're going to be able to catch these guys out, but now that they're into connector and they've cleared out connector, Mousesports have figured out, no, we don't even need to go into the halls. We can just back off towards A. Both of the low health members, you know, should be safe. And this should work out just fine. Not a big fan of Chris J getting any closer, though, because he has no way to back off now.
And that's what happens.
Yeah, and it's a lucky break, actually, for Nex.
Yeah.
As well, because he was very low. So, yeah, that's actually the most, like the one guy that they want to survive that round dies. He had the op.
Not sure on that, Chris J. Not sure on that. He's got enough to rebuy, I guess, but still, money's not exactly perfect for Mousesports. You've got to be a little bit cautious on that. They didn't gain much, but here we go. Freeson and Pim going to try and get early information, but they're going to hear all these steps towards B. That's pretty easy, but Magic going to miss the jump up, and actually that's going to give maybe him a little bit of a chance to stay alive, because Nex was super close, so instantly Mouse waiting for maybe that smoke over play. The smokes are being put out now. The molly's going to quickly follow to clear out those corners. There's one's Chicken Coop, but there we go. The burn alive comes out. Nex is down to 17 HP, but Dennis is already out on site. He's going to swing in towards the side of drop, but didn't see Molly.
Yeah, that was
got camouflage, clearly.
That was some weird, you know, he's just like low sense mouse play there. He's like, come on. Can't pull it back. And now, well, it's Nico and Chris J. 2 on 3. So they actually have managed to pick up a couple kills here. Chris J in particular, he manages to land 1. So they still have a fighting chance here, Mousesports, just because they have so much time left on this clock.
That's when the paranoia, you know, starts to sink in. That's how you get people like Freeze to go over towards A. You got to try and, I guess, hedge your bets in this one, because you can't just, you know, put everything in. So here we go. At the end of the day, it'd be good if Nico kind of split drop or held that. You know, in mind's eye, Chris J works out to B. But then again, working through Magic is going to be difficult because he's just buying time. So Nico's playing the bait. No one saw it. Just carry on. So they're going to try and close out these 2 players on the side. But if they can single out Chris J, they're kind of screwed. But Nico's been a fantastic bit of bait here.
Yeah, just magic. Total annihilation. Rips Nico to shreds. Pimp gets the easy kill onto Chris J. Isn't able to save the AK, sadly enough for him, but still. Doesn't matter. They're coming out way ahead here, SK Gaming. They've got 8 rounds on their CT side so far, and their T side isn't too shabby either. So they've got to be feeling good about themselves. This has got to be, you know, like after Mirage and how that played out, this is that feel-good moment where they're like, okay, relegation, we can dodge it.
Maybe.
Maybe. Right?
Maybe. But yeah. I still want to see how much SK can do on this T side, though. So I was the one who was impressed with their CT side more than anything. I think Mousesports, as soon as they worked out, like, okay, well, Magic's been the immovable object. We just do this kind of like default hits, you know what I mean? Like the smoke, play off the back, blah, blah, blah. He's been pretty hard work. But if we play the slow style where Nico lurks, we get the players over towards A. If we do these sort of plays, actually SK don't quite have those answers. And again, Nico finds Magic, and you've got 4 players left for SK who have 0 information here.
The lucky shot through the smoke as well for Nico. Just
what a way to
through.
do it.
Just like, nah, no, Magic. Not even going to give you the chance, actually, bro. Not even going to give you the chance. Just going to spray. And then slowly but thoroughly, they're going through A long now. Pimp is actually in a bit of a cheeky spot. This is interesting. Definitely kind of the one and done sort of situation. But Freeze might be setting himself up to be the bait, basically, here. You know, pay attention to me. Don't mind Pimp. Yeah. Nobody's playing close, you know. And you go from there.
Keep your eyes on me. Freeze, can he do it though? Nico's again going to play that card of being the lurker, and actually Pimp gives up on it. He wants information back, and that's what you get. You take a step, and Chris J will take your life at this point. And now Freeze maybe doesn't want as many people looking at him as maybe he was starting with. As the flashes come out, he's kind of caught in an awkward predicament because they've already worked their way up through mid, and it's left well. The last 2 remaining players of SK in a bad spot here.
Some great work. Maudie gets caught by Nico. That was on the edge of the smoke. And Asilian through underpass. That's a perfect round for Mousesports. Everything falling into place so nice and neat.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Again, it's okay, Nico is a big factor in that as to how he plays that kind of lurking play, because you can see the difference between players who play it well and create that a little bit of doubt in mind, and the ones who don't, because people will either read into it or they don't, and they kind of get caught out by it. So again, credit to him for this sort of play. But SK initially didn't look bad at all. They looked like they were playing pretty well. So I want to see if they can maybe reflect that towards their T side now, which should be a favorable side, quote unquote.
I think what we need to check right now is how many rounds do Mouse win when SK, you know, or whether when Nico gets the entry. Because, again, Nico, you know, when he doesn't get the entry, they seem to struggle massively. When he does, however, all of a sudden, Mousesports, they start playing good. You know, they start hitting shots. So definitely, you know, a little bit of an awkward conversation there that needs to be had. I mean, Nico, he started off really strong, and then he kind of dropped off a little bit there towards the end of the half. But now they get to swap over to that CT side. They get to start landing some headshots. And SK Gaming, no fear from them, straight out onto Plateau right now. And they do have Asilian with nades. He's got the actual utility, and they managed to get Nico low. So this is perfect now for SK Gaming. They can just execute. They know somebody's low, but then Chris J catches out Freeze. That was an underpass, though, and Chris J only saw the 1. So it seems like all 4 players will be remaining on this B site for now for Mousesports.
Okay. Magic. Oh, Mousesports. Oh, Spitty, that's just dirty play coming out. Oh, Spitty. What a round from him.
Wow, yeah, what a round. Quad kill plus a knife. What's up?
It's like, oh, guys, you don't make that much money with the CZ these days. Let me get my knife out instead. Why not?
Makes up for it all, yeah, exactly.
It's on 5K already. It's like, let me get that rifle real quick.
No, that's perfect. Now they need to play around him, make sure that that rifle stays alive. He's got a kit as well. 3 SMGs backing that, and along with the FAMAS on Chris J. And so that's the real confidence boost. For SK Gaming, they just kind of have to shrug and say, okay, well, we just got hard countered, and we're about to eat a big nade.
Yep. But where are the rest of Mouse? Chris J is just like on this long old run. Just like, let me get to safety, please. He gets 1 on the way out, so trading a little bit, slowing them down, allowing the rotate to come into place. And Nico's going to get himself behind enemy lines. Sets up 2 beautiful kills. Morty and Asilian get slaughtered. And Magic, all alone. Bomb in his hands, but he's only got 4 HP. And they still have nades. Oh, no.
Yeah, this is that confidence moment for Nico, where he just overcommits wildly. Decides to just go and hunt down the kill instead of staying alive, saving some money. Because he could have passed off that UMP over to Chris J, and then, you know, things look a little bit more rosy, right? But instead, he decides to just like go for the big power play, and he gets shut down. Still, 2 kills. That was actually really nice, him predicting the man coming in from underpass there while he was on slope. But, you know, anti-eco handled very nicely there by Mousesports. Should be another one here as well. Pretty much a hard eco coming out here from SK Gaming, considering that last one was a force buy from them. So now Mousesports, this is the big round for them to farm up. This is the one that they need to keep clean and just lock down. There we go. There's the flash. There's spray control, and Nico just mows them down.
His bullets seem to work differently to mine, Semler. I just don't understand it. they literally just track the players so perfectly. It's ridiculous.
Most pros say the same thing.
Nico, what are you doing? No, it's beautiful to watch. It was like we saw it on Mirage when it was like holding mid. The like first one pushing through mid like by short, the second like down by mid, and then back up again.
Yeah, that's just some sick spray control.
How much can I go on about one guy? It's hard to not sing his praise at this point, but Mousesports as a whole are starting to get into the swing of things here. But SK going on that quicker investment now. They've got the rifles out coming through. Let's see what they can do into this one. This is the important round. And I've got to point out, Freeze is actually having a very quiet game. For an all-pro on this map, you kind of want to be doing pretty well here. You kind of want to be playing at least a bit of a pivotal role at this point. And these got 4 kills, is it? Yeah, 4 kills. Not exactly what I want to be seeing from Freeze.
No, Freeze, yeah, he's been struggling, but that'll start things off nicely. Maudie just flattens Nico. The flash is there, but unfortunately Nex doesn't hang around to capitalize on it. Instead, he just peeks in, tries to get the refrag, sees nobody, backs off, and now life gets a little difficult here. Can Nex actually find the gun that Nico is carrying? Yes, he can. So at least there's that. But this hit that's going to come in on the B side eventually, it's going to be nasty. Mousesports, they're going to be hard-pressed to hold this off.
They will be. They still have a touch of utility, I guess, but the positions, they're so kind of tucked into these spots. They're playing from back to the wall kind of thing. And it's not gone well. Already Asilian actually finding Nex is going to make that pretty hard. Dennis now does manage to tuck away from the first flash. A second does catch him, but the timing in between has allowed SK to kind of filter themselves through towards the site. And there you go. That's the pinch they were waiting for. Modi does find Asilian somehow, but it's Chris J left in a 1v3. And the bomb does try and cross towards the site. Chris J's not having that. Now he predicts Pimp's position, but gets the tag towards Modi. And Pimp, it's all a matter of timing before he came through the smoke. Good discipline on him to not instantly respond, but take his time and take down Chris J as he goes.
Yeah, just walk, not give away the step. If he'd have given away the step, Chris J could have taken his face off, but instead he just slow plays it, counts on his teammate staying alive to draw Chris J's attention, and there isn't a whole lot that Chris J was able to do, although he does make it a bit more expensive. So there is that, small silver lining there. But that still means that, look at this, Chris J and Nico double up right off the bat for them. They aren't wasting any time. They go to their favorite strat. And now let's see if they can actually find the pick. Chris, he might have a target. Oh, he backs off just as he was about to get that target in line.
It's unfortunate. You got Dennis playing by danger to ready with that pop flash. But problem being, there's still 2 on long, so even if he does try and control the players working through here, he's kind of soloed out and he can't really escape, so he has to try and take one of these fights. And without Chris J with him, he is very much isolated, fully flash as well. He kind of walks into his own and just swings out on it. Spray down goes a complete awry, and now Chris J's kind of isolated himself here.
Yeah, and Chris J's committing to this. He's like, okay, I got to take a risk, see if I can't catch somebody out. Magic Boy is waiting right around the corner. He's got a teammate backing him as well. And he's been spotted. So now life is very difficult here for Chris. He picks up the 1, but a perfectly executed trade there by Freeze. Steps out as soon as his teammate dies. Nico's now on the scene, though, and he takes out Pimp. So things could get interesting here. A 3-on-3 take situation, and they go charging out onto the site. Nex gets the spray onto Freeze eventually, and Nico unscopes, but still, the damage is being done here by Nex. He gets 2 kills. So now we're into a 1-on-2. Asilian desperate to find Nico, but Nico finds him first with an op bullet.
Just such class in that little swing out. And again, kind of positioning for a Mouse though was scary until the others rotated. Was it Dennis in danger then? Just kind of out on his own, completely whiffs the pop flash, walks out completely blind, just spraying wildly. Surprised SA didn't kind of capitalize more on that off the back of it, but then again, everyone did come over from B, so a good read from them. But now SK down to just those Tech 9s, looking what they can achieve here. A couple of mollies, a bit of utility, so looking maybe to do that kind of default out towards B, but again, not sure if that can really work out with these Tech 9s. Let's see if they can maybe define this site differently as Asilian looking possibly to flash them out here, but no. Deep smoke comes in and buys even more time. Ooh, nice little boost.
Yeah, tricky stuff here. And look at Nico. He's never going to see this coming. Now he realizes, he's like, wait a second. But he assumes that he's getting shot from above, from the balcony. Nicely done there by Maudie. Keeps calm, and now Maudie's got a FAMAS to work with. So rifle, bunch of Tech 9s. Little light on the utility now, though. They need to actually decide where they want to go with this.
Still with those 2 smokes, 2 mollies. And you're seeing that kind of push out from Dennis. Now he knows, okay, they are pretty much all on B. Those 3 players who are left there for Mousesports need to kind of buckle up now. Get ready to see what SK are going to bring through as they are looking for this jump off. A couple of players already getting presence towards drop room. One being Pimp there, going to get challenged out 2 at a time, so he can't quite deal with what Nex brought through. Just left this 4v4 up in the air.
Oh, now they're going to get spotted. He's in the middle of nowhere. Dennis at least manages to trade 1 for 1, so he has that going for him. And they've taken a lot of damage here, SK Gaming as well. So they're going to start trying to push around. 35 seconds means they can go. They can pull a fast one here and then try and rotate back to the B site. Chris J's there with the op. But Spiddy and Next, they've committed to that A side hold. So this is all on Chris now, and he's playing in Fallen's favorite spot. So let's see if he can, channel the Brazilian op in-game leader.
I don't know if he's got that Brazilian vibe to him just yet, but we're going to find out in about 15 seconds' time at this pace. Spiddy's going to be coming back across, assuming, hell, there's not enough time for this. And SK need to make their move. They've got 10 seconds left. If that bomb doesn't get planted pretty darn fast, it's done and dusted in 6 seconds, 5. Okay, bombs on the side and going down, but the last couple of seconds mean it's actually very close. Chris J just got swept aside, maybe not believing they were going to have enough time on that almost. It has left a chance now for SK.
No idea what Freeze was hoping for there. He just decides to step out. He was so low on HP. Thing is, this might work out. That Incendiary going down is going to buy some valuable time, but they have the smoke to cancel it, and it's the man without a kit who's actually defusing it. If Spiddy doesn't defend his mate right now, this is going to get nasty. And somehow, he actually manages to clutch this. And the clutch goes Cillian's way. What a play, but also what a decision made by the 2 defenders on Mousesports. They had one guy with a kit. Why wasn't he the one sticking on the bomb?
It's got to be bad communication or something breaking down at that level, because, to be fair, if it was the play with a kit, it would have worked out. Of course, Cillian didn't know that. He was just banking on it being a fake, possibly, or whatever that factor was. He took that longer route around, but scary stuff. 11-10 now. SK building themselves into this game not too badly and not too shabbily at all. Look at Mousesports. Money is in a bit of disarray here, but Nico still has the deagle, and that is still deadly. Chris J wants to join in on the fun with his 5-7, but 6 HP will not probably get you too far at this point.
Well, Speedy, trying to go for some acrobatics there. Your name is not Jay, and it doesn't stop. End with JW. Whatever. Poor execution there of the joke.
I almost got it.
You almost got it.
Almost.
It was close. JW would have landed that. Unfortunately, Dennis, Freeze is not asleep. He's actually just patiently waiting to see where the push is going to come from. So SK Gaming, showing that they are perfectly capable of, taking their time and playing things out, not taking any unnecessary risks, especially considering how close that last round was.
I like this from SK. It's a nice kind of pacing to the round. It's a nice build into what they're doing. The 3 players just staying as this pack. Not giving away too much at this moment. They're having to make Mousesports split up, play it as 1-1 kind of sides at the moment. Spiddy's going to try and cheat across towards B, play a little closer towards drop, I guess, but there's still so much of a threat about to build down long here. And just using the rifles the way you want to. The deagles are deadly at range, don't get me wrong. They are actually very proficient at it, but you'd assume that a Galil, an AK, would come out trumps if it does come down to it. 20 seconds though. Once we go down quite late in this round, but it will be safely planted, and a nice little corner there actually. A little bit dangerous if they had a player on the B side, but not going to be the case, as we now know. Mousesports going to probably look for those rifles more than anything, if they can find them. I'm not sure if SK moved them, or if they're still there. They're probably still there, I imagine, as the rest of Mousesports were looking towards other things. Galil is now recovered. I'm not sure if there's another one. Spiddy's looking for, like, where have they put this?
They're checking.
I actually don't know if they have moved the other gun. I assume they have.
That would have been a hell of an effort.
Just tucked it away somewhere. It's like in the bathrooms? Hello? Nope.
No. He's really wondering right now, where did this other gun go?
Because they couldn't have taken it too far away, right? I actually don't know where it's gone. I don't know if maybe, I don't know.
Chucked over the wall, over the parapet.
It could be.
Alright. Well, that's a little sad.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Poor little Spiddy. Just gonna drop out the eagle instead.
Ah, but then I lose all mercy for him.
Why?
All pity is gone. He decides to use the Zeus. For shame, Speedy, for shame. Is he going to go into drop and just camp? It's either under drop or under platform. So your 2 options when it comes to this. And it
Please
is
nade the hell out of it, SK. I want pre-nades, I want mollies.
Let him burn. Yeah, there's the deep nade attempt.
Close. It's actually down to Dennis and Chris J here, which is the interesting factor. Dennis has the CZ and a little bit of armor too, so not sure if you can hear nades being pulled, but you can definitely understand now what's coming. Nice control from Dennis. However, his teammate Crochet did get picked up. He tries to take the fight quickly towards Freeze to make the most of it, but again, Pimp is working his way through danger, so Dennis has nowhere safe to fall back to.
Yeah, and he's got the bomb. So he knows that they're going to be coming at him. Now it's all about just like, hey guys, he needs his teammates. There's an HE that goes down. Just shot, and he's not going to be able to control the spray well enough. Pimp with the double spray down. Spitty, if you'd had a pistol, Pimp was dead for sure. Instead, you run in there with a Zeus and just die a miserable, horrible death, the only death that you deserve when you use that thing. And, well, now it's on next. He's got the Galil. He's actually predicted where they're going to be coming from, but then Madi, he was just toying with him all along.
This is turning out to be a much closer game than I thought. I thought that if SK got that CT side that I expected, they'd close out pretty quick. But actually, it's been a bit of a back-and-forth game. Looking at who's been stepping up, Nico, no surprise there, and Modi actually having a very big game. Magic had that massive CT side and kind of quietened down for a little bit there, but back into things. And Freeze on the AWP, Chris J on the AWP. Big buys coming through now. And Chris J already going to take a little bit of the nade and be forced off the, maybe the angle he wanted then on long. Very slow stuff here from SK as well. I take their time. 4 players over by A, however. Modi playing where Nico was previously. Actually, both of them playing very relatable roles over both maps. Both pushing towards Palace on Mirage, for example. So now, Nico going to be relatively cautious on B. No one cheating over towards A. They still have 3 here for the CT side, though. So 1 minute left on the board. Smoke goes down. SK do have their step towards long now.
And they really are doing a very good job of running down this clock. Thing is that Mousesports, they've held on to so many flash nades. They have a couple of smokes as well, but they really do seem to think that this is going to be that A play. And they're doing a fantastic job right now, SK Gaming, of playing off of this, because now they can move up onto plateau. Nico's out of position. He won't be able to deal with it unless he rotates back immediately.
Flash isn't going to catch him either, actually, so this is still actually a really good spot here for SK, but they're going to start running low on time. 28 seconds. Freeze finds Nico. That's going to be the go signal. Spitty and Chris J are, however, on B already.
Flashes out. Unfortunately, the angle is not covered. The smoke is not perfect, and they lose Chris J. Spitty as well. He does get 2 kills, so I mean, he is making it interesting, but that's not going to be good enough. It has to come down to Dennis and next, and with 10 seconds left, that bomb will get planted. So now it's all down to the remaining 2 players from Mouse, and they aren't looking too excited.
Yeah, Modi getting a little bit of a step ahead on that peak. Dennis's gun barrel just peering around the corner by drop as it is Nex. Last man standing and looking for a couple of exits maybe, but I don't think he's going to be gifted any chance of those. SK want to keep hold of those weapons and get out of there, if I'm honest. And again, you said it at the start, SK playing it, pulling them over towards A very well, and Modi playing a great job staying alive throughout it, not kind of just gifting himself over towards Nico at B. Freeze with the pickup. And then the round off the back of it.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, this is just very thorough stuff coming out from SK, basically waiting it out. They really try and sell Mousesports on the A side take, and then they just wrap back around towards B. Nico, I mean, they did have to use a little bit of a trick, and again, that's Freeze with that boost. Getting boosted up. Nico not expecting that angle, once again, gets caught off guard. And we have the pause coming in here. Is this a tactical pause put in by Mousesports? Perhaps it is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, this
feels
is
about the right time for it.
This is an important map between the 3. Yeah, tactical pause coming in from Mousesports. It's an important round. It's an important situation for them. Both of these teams not exactly doing too hot in the league right now, so every win matters.
Yep. The one thing I would say is that, problem being, SK's bank is looking very robust. Even at this point, there's a reinvestment to be had on Pimp there. That's not the big issue. It's the fact that there's 7k on Modi, 5.6 on Asilian, 6.3 on Freeze. Magic's a little low, but and on the other side of things, of course, Mousesports in this round barely have enough to scrape together a decent buy. You've got under 3k on Dennis, you've got about 3k exactly on Nico. It's a bit of a tight squeeze here, and you're not going to get the utility you want. So wondering if they go to maybe help next round with that rifle. We'll have to wait and see, but that would put SK towards that 14th round quite comfortably. And then you'd assume SK will have enough money to kind of just sail through the rest of this game off the back of this next round. Unless Mousesports can kind of stop it very early on, but I highly doubt that happening.
Yeah, no, Mousesports are definitely in a tight spot. They have that one rifle, as you pointed out. And that's pretty much going to be like the game plan is like, okay, either we keep this rifle alive or if we go for the big force. And we have to go for something clever, otherwise we're going to get smashed. So let's see. I mean, they have like, what, 3 minutes, 5 minutes for a timeout?
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of time to work with. That's not a doubt. No doubt there.
They've got plenty of time to talk it through and just kind of discuss it. They do have those coaches coming. I don't know if they're actually on the server right now. Yeah, Capio's on the server. So I guess I don't know how much influencers said this is a thing. No one really knows how much the coaches are yet playing that role. In regards to maybe in-game leading or anything along those lines, still that's very much in the control of Nico. Actually, I asked Chris J not too long ago, is Nico still in-game leading? He was like, yep, still there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not changing, not too soon. So maybe down the line you could imagine the coaches having more of an influence, but at the moment, pretty sure it's with just Mousesports themselves and Nico there. And we'll be getting into this one now, back underway. 13-11, SK in the lead. And Mousesports opting to kind of shy away from investing in this round, so you'd assume SK would push themselves towards that 14th round on the board.
Yeah, no, you should. I mean, you would. It's just Nex that has that M4. It's been a long time since we've seen Nex go for the big explosive plays. So if ever there was a time for him to wake up, it's pretty much now. Like, he needs to get something done. But it seems like they're going to play around him. So if it's the B take, then perfect. Otherwise, is Nex going to be able to step in and really have an impact? Not highly likely. He might try and play. You're always going to play with that in the back of your mind, like, oh, I want to save my rifle. Or I just want to die.
I was about to say, he's sat on 2.4k right now. I guess not exactly a great spot to be just like charging in and accepting your death on, but oh well. SK going to have the cleanest of clean rounds, so their money is going to be even better going forward. They got the plant. They're not giving up a rifle here or there. Nico has found that M4, so that's a small silver lining, but then again, it looks like SK are trying to find this. A couple of players are getting close, but not actually fully committing. They want to keep this clean. They want to have that full money towards the end of the game if they get that far. So now Nico keeping hold of this could make a difference into the next couple of rounds.
Could. I mean, it's one rifle that they can kind of stretch the economy with. I mean, they will have enough for a buy in the next round. They'll get max money, in fact. So basically everything they could want under the sun. And saving that one rifle, maybe it makes a difference, maybe it doesn't. Could allow for Dennis to go for the
Double
ultra
up.
buy, basically.
That's what they're going for. Okay, so Nico can drop that gun over to Nex, I believe it is. He gets the double AWP himself. So Nico on the AWP here, joined by Chris J, of course, and on the other side, Freestyle rocking that. So try and switch things up into the last throws, and as you said, at that max round loss bonus that you're going to get coming through for the CT side. So I guess this is do or die pretty much for Mousesports. They want to get this one on the board so badly, otherwise SK is sat in such a perfect spot. So where is Nico taking this? So he's gone over towards B again. So relatively similar to how they played it before, but this time just him with the AWP.
Yeah, and they haven't used this boost yet, so it's about time. Allows Nico to get up here with that AWP. And who's waiting for him but Madi? And Madi isn't even focused on Plateau right now. He's going to go and, have that play date with his friend later on. He's focused on drop.
And it looks like Mousesports have cheated people over towards B. Nex was there, Dennis was there. All kind of pulled over, but something's given away the game here, and Modi's not been able to make much of an appearance yet towards drop or play off the back of it, allowing Mousesports to be pretty safe, but actually Chris J with a lovely adjustment towards Pimp, punishing him for stepping out so hap-handedly, and now the likes of Dennis and Nex should do the rest, but no, Modi and Magic do the work. Magic again finds a follow-up, and 4 players standing to the mere 1. Great work in the end from SK, just taking over the site, building out of those one-to-ones, using the smokes to cut off vision from Chris J. Let's put SK onto map point.
Yeah, watching the minimap there is really just, Madi managed to sneak his way, get into drop control, so he was able to get into connector and just basically catch Speedy rotating, and that was an easy kill for him. Speedy never even knew what hit him. But then the rest of them, they all just moved together as this unit, straight up the ramp, no subtlety, all together. So if one dies, instant trade. They just moved. I mean, it was just no fear from SK. They knew exactly what they were doing. That was really nicely done. Very nice execute onto that A site. Not even Nico. I mean, well, what can Nico do when he's, playing alone on B site?
Yeah, you're so far out. You have to one pass Modi, give away your game, and it's like, can I rotate around the halls? No, I don't have time. I've just kind of charged through. He's cut out from it. So for his sake, he's hoping, guys, come B, please. At least I can do something about it then. But SK might just grant him his wish. There's a lot of players stacked over towards this B site. Freeze being very passive over towards A, and you have that flash in towards drop here, maybe allowing Pimp and Magic to get that early step in.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Magic with the Incendiary. Chucks that in, so Speedy's going to have a little bit of a tight spot. Exactly, checking below them this time, so there is no surprise. I like it.
Nico's up on platform, though. This could be nice. And Molly out the close corner, but Nico's still here. He's just turned around, and Asilian just walks right into him.
With the bomb. So now they're committed. They have to go for this, SK. Where are the shots? Well, there's two big entries coming in here for Pimp. And now it's going to be on Nico, trying to do the best that he can, but he's going to die in a hail of bullets. It's on Chris J and Dennis now, the last two alive, rotating in from that A site. And it's just enemy territory, but Chris is going to catch Magic's boy peeking, and they still haven't even got the bomb down onto B site. Madi, is he ever going to make the jump down?
Probably just worried about the cross, I guess. No one's able to lock it down, and Pimp already being able to hold the push. He doesn't want to leave the spot either, so it's like that kind of stalemate position. It's like, I guess I have to go eventually, and it's left Chris in this 1v3. Chris J already spotted out. Freeze getting the tag then. Makes his presence known, tries to fly out on it, and that is a big solid no from Freeze, and a good victory for SK. Meaning tough times ahead for Mousesports as another loss chalked up on the board.
Well, that's, I mean, game one still. That was, it's a fair trade. It shows how balanced these two teams are actually right now. You know, SK and Mouse both, they seem to struggle a little bit, but when it comes to facing each other, you know, Mouse took Mirage, SK took their map. It's like each team got their map. So if this was a best of three, it could actually be fun if this was a best of three, because then we go to like some weird map like
the third,
you know, Inferno or something, you know, where things get tricky and, you know, both teams are going to be a little bit weaker, but we would have like a really close match to close it out, because it did look like, you know, SK were in control on Cobble once they hit their stride, no matter what Nico did. And then, you know, Mirage was definitely the Mousesports show. So good last map there to finish the night with, actually. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, really enjoyable matchup between the two, but it does seem as though that's enough from us tonight. We're going to go chill out for the rest of it, and let's head over to the analysis desk to break down the final moments of that game.
Nice little bookend to the end of our final day of the ESL Pro League for weekday 17. Matchday 17, excuse me. Weekday 17 makes absolutely no sense, Alex. Bless you for trying, though. Either way, I've got Vendetta and D-Man joining me to break down our final game of the night, boys. And the desk were pretty happy with that one. They enjoyed casting it. And how did you guys feel watching that from back here?
I guess once the disappointment of the couple of Mousesports mistakes on the CT side went away, I was happy to see SK playing a pretty good T side, because we haven't seen too much, you know, working out really well for from SK as of late. So that was a pretty good sign. And you said it before we started the game. This is kind of home turf for SK.
I'm intrigued, because obviously they just mentioned it. If it was best of three, the map got through. I'm intrigued why Cobble actually got through, because it is one of SK's best maps.
Well, I guess with how the vetoes work in Pro League, they didn't have, you can't target ban versus certain.
No, you're blind. It's the double blind veto, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't target ban, and I guess that's why it came through. But I'm happy for it, because it does allow teams to showcase their best side every now and again.
Yeah, the damage was done though. The CT side, solid start from SK in the end. Obviously not as big. I mean, bearing in mind, this is a team that went 14-1 on the CT side against Nafi. It's also a team that selected CT as their after winning the knife, and I remember putting Anders on tilt that night. But they've had some great performances here on Cobblestone. We were talking about the 1v2. Obviously was a big part of it. Probably the
I think that was like the tipping
point. Yeah, exactly. Thinking along the lines. I like where your mind's going on this one. The tipping point was where. Was it Nex? It was Nex that went for the defuse but didn't have the kit.
And
yeah, but Spiddy did have the kit.
Nightmare.
And then he holds it, and then it gets down to about 2 seconds, to be fair, without a kit. And then Asilian pops around, and then they basically come one by one. So
it's comms, right?
Yeah, and that comes at a time in the game where SK had just picked up a round.
Yeah,
so
I think it was about 10-10. It was around there.
11-9, I want to say.
That's
but
close.
it's right. Yeah, well, it's right there. And
Noob.
SK had just picked up their first round, right? and that was the issue, because they could have potentially reset SK, gotten up to a great start, ended up on 13, 14 rounds. And from there on out, you should be able to close out the game, because you're going to get so many opportunities with full buys. Yeah,
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, exactly. But that didn't happen, and after that, they get reset, SK take full control, and actually play really well T-side after that.
And I mean, where does that kind of leave Mouse now? What kind of state do you think they're in? They've now considered, you know,
they got 4 wins. They're happy.
Yeah,
Well,
but,
yeah,
like,
they're not going to get
they're happy,
relegated.
yes, but I mean, what I'm saying is like in terms of getting to the higher echelons of the standings, how are we feeling about their current performance? Because that was a testing 2 games.
Well, the problem is they're in a league that's very, 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 very strong. As in, there is a number of the top teams of the world in there, the majority of them, in fact. So even just getting 4 wins, I mean, they're 4-10. It's not a great record, but at the end of the day, they're doing much better than Virtus Pro, who've only got the 2 wins on the board, and obviously Mousesports, who they just played, still only got 3 wins on the board, 3-7. So they're still doing all right. I mean, they're probably going to end up in that 10th or 11th spot anyway, regardless of how well they do. But 14 games in, 4 wins on the board. I think they'll be happy. They've got what, 8 games left to play. I think it's 22 max in the season. So 8 games left to play. I think they'll be happy so far.
Barring the Mousesports games, like they could have definitely done better. But I think at this point, hopes of actually making it to the LAN playoffs, those are gone.
I think they've still got Flipside to play. That's the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think down the bottom is below them is Flipside, who's 0-6, and Virtus Pro are like 2-13 or something, or 2-14.
Yeah, I mean, like we've seen teams be in that flip side position where you haven't picked up a win and then go on these kind of mad sprees. In fact, Hellraisers last season, do you remember they had like a 6-win streak and they needed like 1 more to actually get out?
Sadly, it was those that got relegated.
Yeah. In the end, they got
actually
relegated.
lost to.
But it can happen. Is what I'm saying.
They lost to Flipside, yeah.
It was. You're right. That was a huge game. Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. But like, there is definitely still some light at the end of the tunnel for those bottom teams. But we may as well go ahead and remind ourselves what you may have missed. If you have just joined us, you missed a cracking day of Counter-Strike. So we can go ahead and reflect on what our 4 games were. We started the day with the French G2 up against FaZe. We're excited to see what Dust 2 held, and it actually held a victory for the French, seeing FaZe fall just 3 rounds short.
Should have been overtime, that one.
Should have been.
Should have been, yeah.
I mean, it was like 1 or 2 influential rounds when you guys were talking about it, right? That completely determined the outcome of that one.
Well, his last one, they forced and bought whatever they could, and FaZe just ran straight into him. It was a very strange last round.
A final round, of course, going into Cash. It looked a little bit neater and tidier from G2, coming off the back of a a steep one-sided side on Cash yesterday. Nice to see them having to pull a victory out on Cash, a map that they struggled with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Much better CT side today, even though they had a bit of a slow start. T side, excellent as always.
As always, under the helm and reign of existence. Then moving into our final combination of teams, we had SK and Mousesports going down on Mirage and Cobble. Won the way of the Germans, and actually in the second we saw SK spring to life. Modi a big part of that. Of course, that Swedish slash honorary Dane beating down the Germans 16-11, and those, of course, were the results.
Can't forget the Serbian.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
to be fair, can we call them German?
No, wait, he's not Serbian, Nico.
Nico.
He's Bosnian.
It's Bosnian, is he?
Yeah.
Flags, man.
Oh, well, you don't want to mix those up. They had a little war about things.
History.
Don't want to get those
history. Moving away from history and into a different country, North America. They're over and they're going to be playing some Counter-Strike not too long, about an hour and a half actually. We've got them a little later tonight, but do be sure to get ready for that one because you've got some. Let's have a look what we're bringing you in North America. I had it up on my screen. There we go. Oh, more Renegades. Okay, so we saw Renegades Cloud9. Actually,
good game.
Really good. Did you actually
should never have gone to overtime. The first map should never have gone to overtime. Then Renegades lost it. It was just like, oh,
agonizing to watch. And on train, of course, of all maps.
Yeah.
But we get to see Renegades again tonight. And we're going to be seeing them go up against Team Liquid. So excited to see what Liquid can do ahead of that major they're going to be turning up in. We'll see if they can actually turn up in that major. I'm excited to see this whole simple storyline.
I wonder if Adren's going to actually play for them tonight because obviously they might want to start warming up because he's got to play the major with them.
It's true. I mean, it's always interesting that whole dynamic, and I'm sure they'll explore it in the cast. But yeah, keep your eyes on that one. Renegades Liquid couldn't be as clear cut as it perhaps seems on paper. But we do need to talk about Europe as well because we are going to take a day off. God, what are you going to do with your day off, Lee?
Well, I'm going to New York, so I know
you're going to be flying.
I've got like a week off. I'm off to New York to do a FIFA.
Rock and roll. Okay, so while you're talking about football, Ben, you can have a day off. You can put your feet up, play some video games. I'm sure that's what you're planning on doing.
He's playing the Division. He's playing the Division.
Yeah, basically, Ven is addicted to lots of Division at the moment. But coming up on Saturday, after our day off, we are going to be kicking off with 2 days of Counter-Strike, longer than usual, 6 games. You can see all of them there. More from FaZe and Mouse. Fnatic turning up as well, attempting to down the dogs of Dignitas, who are in dire need of the win. And NIP, of course, a team that did manage to take a win off the aforementioned Fnatic, and now clashing with SK. And NIP looking to maintain that top spot. In fact, those could be they'd be big wins on the standings.
FaZe against Mousesports on Dust 2, that's going to be a cracking game.
You're not wrong. That's 2 very strong D2 teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Excited. The scene is set. It's all kicking off on Saturday. We're going to disappear for a full day. Don't know what we're going to do with our Friday. I might get a little lost. I'm going to be sitting at the desk kind of like, what do we do now?
You're just going to stay here?
I might stay here.
here.
Either way, guys, we are going to disappear. We'll be back on Saturday with more Counter-Strike, more of the same. Thank you so much for joining us. See you then.